I'm going to need you to focus for this video. So put the kids to bed, put the TV on pause, make yourself a cup of chai and watch this video to the end. If you want to see effective change in your activism, this is the video for you. So I suggest after you've watched it all the way through, you send it to at least 5 friends, you leave a comment and you save this video. Let's get this out there. This wonderful human being is my dear friend, Dr. Rame. Now, this is Dr. Rame after she completed a direct action with the group Palestine Action, where they occupied a building to do with Elbit's Manufacturing Systems, the company that produces and sends weapons to be tested on the people of Gaza and then used in other countries in the global south. So she was there on top of an ambulance to highlight the fact that doctors and medical workers are being tortured, they are being raped, and they are being murdered. There are no working hospitals. There is no medical aid coming into Gaza. She's up there highlighting all of that. So not only is she a superhero doing direct actions, she's also providing us with a lot of information and guidance. Now, today, I saw a post of hers and I was like, that's it. That's the proverbial slap in the face that I needed to knock me out of my frustrated, depressed mindset that was like, I don't know what to do. We need to do more. What can we do? What can we do? I read her post and I was like, that's it. That's it. So I am here to amplify that. And like I said, you need to listen to every single word that she has to say as a British Palestinian doctor who has done direct action as well as working with people on the ground in Gaza. This is the type of voice that we need to amplify. It's like I said in my last video, enough is enough. We are done marching to nowhere, going around in circles. Whitehall, our governments, they're not listening to what we're saying. And if we're really honest, I don't think they ever will. So it's time to protest like we mean to end a genocide. The goal of this movement is not just to show the world that we care about what's happening to the Palestinians. The goal is to actually end the genocide, to awaken the public to the truth, to disrupt the economy of war, and to expose the corporations that are actually profiteering from this war. We can't do that outside empty government buildings. So where can we do it? Instead of protesting outside empty government buildings, why don't we take it where it's really going to hurt them? Places like Oxford Street, Westfield, shopping malls, retail capitalism, the headquarters of banks. Banks are complicit in investments in the arms trade. Why don't we go to the actual weapon factories themselves, such as Elbit Systems or any of the organizations and companies that work alongside Elbit? The BBC, who is complicit in the genocide by being the propaganda machine of Israel. The media, tech, retail giants. These are the arteries of the genocide. Literally, if we cut them off, we are cutting off their blood supply. These are the financial hubs, the propaganda machines. They are all propping up the Israeli genocidal settler colonial state. I know for many of you, you look at organizations like Pal Action, you see them getting arrested and it makes you nervous. It makes you afraid. Maybe you are vulnerable to being arrested and your situation cannot allow that. But you need to understand, not everybody has to do Palestine Action. Not everybody has to get arrested. There are many ways to disrupt which are legal and do not have a high risk of arrest. So let me go through some of them. We have things like sit-ins and mass die-ins. That's where you can take over places like train stations, shopping malls, busy streets, and everybody just either sits down or does a die-in as if they are the victims of a genocide. You can be creative in your disruption. You can create mock checkpoints and apartheid passports. Let people visually see what the Palestinians have to go through. You can block entrances with silence, with chants, with signs, with bodies. You can do street theatre and live performances. Everybody loves art. Use visual props to make it real for people that don't understand what's going on. Those people that are watching the BBC and don't see the truth. You can march through places like Westfield with the names of the martyrs held up in signs. You can do flash occupations of corporate lobbies or transport hubs. You can have noise, you can have silence in places of comfort and distraction. Everyone can take part in these type of actions, whether you're older, whether you're younger, whether you're a family member, it does not matter. Dr. Rame has provided us with even more creative ideas and solutions. So protests don't just speak. So they're not just about hearing chants and hearing people do speeches. It's about what we can show others. So if people want to close their eyes to what is happening in Gaza, let's bring Gaza to them. Let's bring Gaza to their doorstep so that they can't turn away. And ways that you can do this is, for example, you can create empty classroom setups for bombed schools. You can create mock refugee tents. You can use the shoes of murdered children. There's actual monuments in other countries. Like I think the one I saw was in Budapest, where they had the shoes to represent the children that had been murdered in the Holocaust. You can have trial performances of weapon manufacturers. You can do fake IOF recruitment booths. That one would be really actually interesting, especially if you recorded it for social media, like an experiment. You can do street interviews and teach-ins. People do not have the knowledge of the history of what's happened in Palestine. It's great if you can give them that information or tell them about companies that we should be avoiding. There's things that you can do like open mic grief walls, QR codes linking to testimonies. We can make the public see, hear, and feel what's actually happening in Palestine. Let them use all of their senses to put themselves in the shoes of the Palestinians. Art is disruption, and we have so many ways that we can do it. And if art is done with dignity, it confronts silence, it carries grief, and it makes Gaza unignorable. And again, there's some amazing suggestions over here. We can do things like projecting names, footage, voices from Gaza, screens playing Gazan testimonies in the streets. We can use soundscapes, so things like poems, drums, cries under rubble. We can use visual props such as red ribbons, black veils, name scrolls. We can have mock funerals, grave digging movements. We can use things like embroidery or calligraphy circles in public, like workshops, street poetry and readings. We can make the public see, hear, and feel what's happening. And that cannot be ignored. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to have to go through this really fast. Don't just march, occupy, hold the ground with chants, food, music, prayers. Do teach-ins, banner making, storytelling, host children's spaces, healing circles, cultural pop-ups. Stay in place, even briefly, and reclaim public spaces for Palestine. These aren't protests, they're free zones in a colonized world. And this, my people, this is how we win. We don't perform, we interrupt. We don't mourn, we expose. We don't just march, we confront. So I have just provided you the information via Dr. Rame. Now do with it as you should. We shift from being loud near Parliament to being unignorable in every sphere of this world. This is what Gaza deserves, and this is what we are going to do.